and welcome everybody to another video from Just the Fangirl. I am Just the Fangirl, and if you remember last week we did a look through of my personal bullet journal or daily, weekly planner. Well, I'm here today to share with you a few more things regarding stationery, as well as things that I use on a daily basis or semi-daily basis, or at least just regularly enough that they're within easy reach. So here we go. This is my obligatory stuff I use daily, or notebooks I use all the time video, or just my notebooks video. Well, first off, obviously, we will reiterate this is my bullet journal system. I have within it my working, my substitute notebook, which I cannot show you because it has pertinent and confidential information regarding my schools that I sub at. We have my collections notebook, both of which are just homemade notebooks that, if you will look at my previous video, I list where I learned how to make them. And then I have my actual bullet journal that I actually write all of my appointments and other stuff into. And again, this one is also listed in the links below where I bought it through Amazon. If you want to decorate it like I decorated the front of mine, just get some craft paper, some glue, and glue it onto the front of your own notebook, so that you have something very nice that doesn't involve fancy things like embossing or special letter engraving. And anyway, I have all of those covered in a traveler's notebook style cover that I also made myself. Next up we have my sketchbook. Now this is actually a sketchbook that I made myself using C. Lemon's bookbinding tutorials. Again, links down below and in the previous video on how to make those yourself. Because I wanted to be able to draw, but I didn't want to get an expensive sketchbook, and I already had cardstock paper available, I just cut it down, fixed it up, and bound it with thread and needle and whatnot, and used beautiful craft paper. I particularly like this rose gold foiled stuff and this floral print, and just made myself my own sketchbook to have and use. And I really should put some contact paper on it. When I can afford more, I will. But just if you want it more durable and hopefully not get it to fall apart on you, just cover it with contact paper so that you can keep it in pristine condition. I did bind it with a decorative paper in the front. The first page has a property of thing, and I'm not going to show that to you just yet. But then also I have various sketches in here already, pictures drawn on my Ohuhu, drawn in ink and colored in with Ohuhu markers. Here's an NPC from one of my games that I run. Here's my Happy Boy that I play in a friend's Waterdeep campaign. His name is Glimpen. Doesn't he have the loveliest smile? I adore him. He's so precious. I also have a lot of other things in here. I have some lettering practice, more NPCs, fan art of various things, because, you know, I am just the fangirl, and including one of Crowley from Good Omens with long hair. I just think he looks better with long hair. And also one of Aziraphale with full angel wings. Isn't he so cute? But yeah, I have lots of different sketches in here. Some of them colored, some of them not. Pieces that are just sketches because I like to play around and just see if I can try a new style here and there and stuff like that. So yes, that is what is currently in my sketchbook, and this is just something I like to get out now and then when I want to try something out before I actually go and do it for like a commission or something. This is my personal diary. Now I'm trying to phase out of it, especially since I only have a few pages left in it, and I've had this for well over 2 years. But I actually got this from Peter Popper Press through Amazon, and I just thought it was beautiful, you know, with all the sun and space and just all this lovely gilding and the gold gilded edges. I thought it was just a great journal, and I actually used to have a planner that went with it, but it was for 2018, and of course once that year was done I put it away. But this one in particular is very special because in this is recorded several things, including my first Valentine's gift from my fiance before he was my fiance, as well as a pressed flower that he gave me not long ago, and of course all of my thoughts and feelings from when my mother passed away last year. So this journal, very important, very special to me, and I'll be a little sad when I get the last page filled in, but you know, sometimes things need to retire, especially now that I'm on the bullet journal system and I'm going to be doing dailies in the new year for that, so that'll serve as a journaling kind of exercise. Until then, I do have this. And this is next we have something very special that I wanted to go ahead and preview for you today, rather than save it for next month entirely, so that you know what you're getting into. This is my journal for next year. I'll be starting it in January, and we'll have a plan with me or flip through of it when December comes. But as you see, I have a nice hardcover here. The backing is covered in washi tape. I did make this myself, and that's for good reason, because inside of it I have a very special kind of book. As you can see, first of all, my cover also has a pocket right here, pocket in here, and a pocket, big pocket right back here, as well as a little one right here. But you obviously noticed the actual important thing, the actual cool thing. Yes, this is a homemade 6-ring book of Westmarch, because The Hobbit is my favorite book. The Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie, and so I wanted to start 2020 off in the Red Book of Westmarch, or at least my version of the Red Book of Westmarch. And as you can see, I've already got tabs set up. That's because I'm a weirdo. I pre-plan everything as much as possible, but you'll see more in December. Here we have another journal that I made. This one is kind of special in its own way, not only because it's very, very tiny, thus very, very compact and easy to take along with me, and that's it. And the special thing about it is that it is my Waterdeep notes. Yes, my dear fanboys and fangirls, this is where I like to put my notes for the Waterdeep campaign I played in. Remember that little green boy with the sweet smile? My boy Grimpin? This is the game I play him in, and for when anything happens in that game, I just jot down the notes of what's going on and what happened, and anything I think might be pertinent or that sounds interesting to me, or that would grab me as a player, that's like, ooh, maybe the GM's gonna do something with that, I better put that down. I write it down in this. I'm essentially writing the pages in as I go. I've already gotten up to page 38 filled in so far. It is a very good game. I love having these notes about it, so that one day when we finish the campaign, I can have this book to remember it by forever. Speaking of gaming, this is my Game Master's notebook. This is the book that I use when I'm making notes for the games that I run. There are at least 3 campaigns written down in here so far, notes for all of them, world building notes for at least 1 campaign, and just future plans as well as current ideas and things. It's kind of a mix of a log and a diary, as well as other stuff. I also, in the front, I have it filled with, in the front here you see I have it filled with yellow legal paper. That's because I was recycling and upcycling an old legal pad. And then in the back I have dot grid style paper that I had printed off a whole bunch for my Red Book of Westmarch, and I had a bunch extra, so I just plopped it in here. It works very well. On my front page it says beware, or reader beware, which of course I kind of nicked out from R.L. Stein stuff, because I did used to read R.L. Stein books when I was really little. And but yeah, I left a warning in here on the front page just telling people, don't look, you're going to spoil yourself if you look at my notes. A nice little stylized piece of bit of writing right here, and a doodle of a D20. It's actually not that very good, but humor me. And like the Red Book of Westmarch, it is done in a ring style, although this one has 2 rings. It is homemade very much, using cardstock and craft paper to cover the inside and out. And last but not least, we have today my recipe book. This is where I write down all of my recipes And if I find anything brand new that I want to try, or if I have tried something and I want to remember how to make it for future reference and to be able to just share it with my future family, then I write it down in here. It's I actually upcycled some gift bags, covered the front in contact paper, put colored craft paper on the inside just to give it a little pop. I used 2 different sheets actually because I had leftover scraps. And the inside is actually graph paper, which works very well for formatting and just essentially writing things down. Here's one page of it. It really helped to have the graph paper so I could see where things are, just see what belongs under what recipe. It's a very unique system that I have, mostly in that as long as I have it in sight, I can grab it and use it. But it's mine, it works for me, and I have a lot of fun being able to be creative and making stuff like this. So if you want to keep seeing what crazy stuff I make, what I have available, will eventually have available in the Etsy shop that I'm prepping up, and what I make in the next year to come, especially when it comes to my bullet journaling escapades, then please stay tuned to the channel. That means liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting the notification bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I post, and of course, please feel free to follow me at any of my websites and social media that I will have down below. Thank you all so much again for watching if you made it this far, and until next time, doodles.